everybody, it's Gypsy, and I am on my way to the flea market for vending. Had a really good day yesterday. It was a lot of fun. We were busy. The fairgrounds was having a car show, which brings us more business, so we all love it. So anyways, I saw an interview that Tucker Carlson did this morning that I really enjoyed. I found fascinating. And it was with Senator Thomas Massey, this gorgeous deer. Now, I had seen a video several years ago that Thomas Massey had done, and it was about his house and his property, and it's entirely off the grid. And his house is gorgeous, just beautiful. And it was part of what they talked about in the interview today that I watched. And it did get me missing living off grid. And when I lived off grid, I do have property in New Mexico, and I lived there for not very long in my travel trailer, totally off grid. I didn't even have a well, or I don't. Then I fell and ruined my leg, so I ended up back home in Ohio. But anyways, I lived totally off grid for 5 years, and I loved it. And listening to Thomas Massey it makes me miss it. And I live in a rural area, and the only thing we really have off grid is our water, because we have well water, of course, to run the pump. It's on electricity. So, which that kind of concerned me, because I always wonder, okay, if we have a power outage again, because when my boys were little, we had a brownout that lasted for, it seemed like forever. It was days. And back then I lived in the suburbs, so we still had access to our water. So I asked my son about that. I said, well, if the power goes out, I said, how are we going to get our water? And he goes, Mom, remember, we've got like 2-3 generators around here, so, we could use that. Okay. We got the solar panels, too, my solar panels. But anyways, Thomas Massey's house is amazing. Now, he said he built this house on his own, and I think, family members helped. But, it was a timber, I forgot what they call it, but it's all totally wood and pegs. The only place he has metal screws is in the floor. So it was, I guess there was an ice storm or something, took down trees on his property, and he used those trees to build his house. In the creek on his property, they had the flat, like sandstone, I don't know if it's sandstone or what you would call it, but the flat rocks. And he used that for the flooring in his house. But all kinds of cool stuff. He's a genius. I mean, I didn't know, he's an inventor. He has patents and everything. So he's really good at this stuff. And it's just like, I miss living off grid, because I get to tell you, it's a sense of accomplishment. It's a sense of pride. And I remember when I lived off grid, I had such a sense of freedom. I knew that, and this was when COVID first started and everything, when things were like really weird and crazy. And it was just, but I knew it wouldn't affect me. I lived my life as an nomad, normally. And I guess that's what living off grid, why it makes me feel free. And I do miss that. I do kind of, in my head, look around the house and see what we have. And I make plans for in case there is another big power outage. I don't really tell my family too much about it, because then they start making fun of me. If I mention it once in a while, small little things here, I go, oh, that's a good idea. But if I start talking about it too much, But anyways, there is nothing that Thomas Massey uses on his property that is on grid. I just find it amazing. I just wanted to talk about it. Now, I know living off grid's not for everyone, and you don't have to do it. But I just think it's always a good backup to have a little knowledge, just in case, because you never know. I mean, when I think about that brownout we had years ago, you know, you think it's not going to happen, but it can, and it does. So it's good to know, good to have the knowledge a little bit, even if you don't care to live off grid, which is fine. It's just, I don't know, it's a beautiful life living that way. It's hard, which is part of the reason I didn't go back to it, is because of the condition my leg is in. I don't think I can do that work alone anymore. Plus, I am enjoying being with my family, and, you know, my man, he's Taurus, and, you know, he likes living in the lap of luxury, so, you know, it's probably not going to happen, like, permanently. He might do it temporarily. But anyways, I don't know, not really a point to this video. It was just, I'm reminiscing about that lifestyle I had, living off grid, and it was fun. It was fun, but it was hard work. If you want to have a sense of pride and accomplishment and freedom, try living off grid for a little bit. You don't have to do it permanently. You know, just see what it's like. So anyways, I'm going to leave you with that. Blessed be, and make it a joyful one.